There's a reason so many lifters plateau after their first year of training. In the beginning, gains come easy. Almost anything works. But eventually that progress slows to a crawl. So what separates those who keep gaining from those who stall out? The answer isn't just training harder. It's training smarter, and today, we're diving into the latest research that could literally help you build muscle almost twice as fast as before. Not hype, not bro science, just new powerful discoveries that can fast-track your results if applied correctly. Let's start with the foundation. Muscle growth, or hypertrophy, happens through three primary mechanisms: mechanical tension, muscle damage, and metabolic stress. But among these, mechanical tension, placing force on your muscles under load, is king. That's why you can't just pump out endless reps of light weights and expect serious size. But here's the kicker. How you create tension matters more than ever, and new studies are changing the game on how we do that effectively. The research on eccentric overload. One of the most groundbreaking findings in recent years revolves around eccentric training. That's the lowering phase of a lift. Think about lowering the bar during a bench press or descending in a squat. Studies from institutions like the University of Sao Paulo and Edith Cowan University have shown that muscles produce up to 30 to 40% more force eccentrically than concentrically. And here's where it gets wild. Training focused on eccentric overload has been shown to lead to nearly double the hypertrophy in some cases compared to traditional lifting. Why? Because eccentric training causes more microtrauma to muscle fibers, which is a key stimulus for growth. Want to build muscle faster? Try slowing down your eccentricities, 3 to 5 seconds on the lowering portion of your lifts. Or even better, incorporate eccentric overload methods like negative reps, tempo training, or using heavier weights during the lowering phase with a spotter. Train to proximity, but not always to failure. New research continues to debunk the idea that training to absolute failure every set is the best way to grow. Yes, training close to failure is crucial, but recent data from Brad Schoenfeld and others has shown that training 1 to 3 reps shy of failure can produce similar muscle growth while significantly reducing fatigue and injury risk. This means better recovery, more quality volume across the week, and ultimately, faster results. The takeaway? You don't have to destroy yourself every session. Aim for RPE 7 to 9, rate of perceived exertion, leaving 1 or 2 good reps in the tank on most sets, especially for compound lifts. Reserve true failure for your isolation work where the risk is lower. Frequency over volume, think again. Another powerful discovery is that total weekly volume is a better predictor of muscle growth than how often you train a muscle. A 2023 meta-analysis found that spreading volume across multiple sessions, not just jamming it into a single bro split day, leads to greater hypertrophy and better recovery. In plain English, hitting each muscle twice per week, even with fewer sets per session, beats blasting it once and waiting a week. So instead of chest day once a week, try splitting that volume across Monday and Thursday. Instead of 15 sets in one go, do 8 and 7. You'll stay fresher, perform better, and give your muscles more frequent growth signals. Velocity-based training, the secret weapon. A new frontier in muscle building is velocity-based training. This method involves using bar speed as a feedback tool to optimize training intensity. Research from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research has shown that monitoring rep speed helps lifters stay in the ideal intensity zone, usually around 70 to 85% of their 1 rep max, where hypertrophy is maximized. Even if you don't have a velocity tracker, you can apply this principle. Focus on explosive intent, pushing the bar with maximum force on each rep, even if the actual speed slows due to fatigue. This ensures you're recruiting high-threshold motor units, the fibers most responsible for muscle growth. Don't neglect lengthened partial reps. Here's something you probably weren't taught in the gym. Muscle fibers grow more at longer lengths. That means exercises that stretch the muscle under load, like incline dumbbell curls or Romanian deadlifts, trigger more hypertrophy than constant tension, short-range movements. In fact, a 2021 study in sports medicine concluded that lengthened partials, reps done in the bottom half of the movement, can induce significantly more muscle growth than standard full ROM training in certain scenarios. To use this, consider finishing your sets with partial reps in the stretch position. For example, after failing on full-range biceps curls, pump out 3 to 5 bottom half reps. The burn will be intense, but so will the gains. The nutrient timing edge. While training is key, nutrition is what fuels growth, and nutrient timing is back in the spotlight. Recent findings from the International Society of Sports Nutrition reinforce the anabolic window isn't a myth after all. Consuming 20 to 40 grams of protein and some carbs within 1 to 2 hours post-training still optimizes recovery, muscle protein synthesis, and performance in future sessions. It's not just what you eat, it's when. That said, total daily intake still matters most. Aim for at least 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight daily, and don't neglect pre-workout nutrition. A meal with protein and carbs 60 to 90 minutes before lifting can help you train harder and recover faster. Creatine and beta-alanine, backed by science. Two supplements have consistently stood the test of time, and they're now backed by more research than ever. Creatine monohydrate remains the gold standard for increasing strength, performance, and muscle mass. A recent review found lifters on creatine gain, on average, 1.5 to 2 kilograms more lean mass over several weeks than those without it. Take 3 to 5 grams daily, no loading required. Beta-alanine, often included in pre-workouts, buffers lactic acid and improves endurance. If your workouts involve high-rep sets or supersets, this could mean more volume, less fatigue, and better hypertrophy outcomes. It's especially helpful for metabolic-style training or drop sets. Sleep, the missing growth pill. Forget testosterone boosters. Your best natural anabolic enhancer is deep sleep. Growth hormone peaks during slow-wave sleep, and new studies show that getting less than 6 hours of sleep per night can decrease testosterone, impair recovery, and limit protein synthesis. Even your performance in the gym suffers, meaning fewer reps, less weight, and slower progress. The formula is simple: 7 to 9 hours per night, consistent sleep twice your wake times, in a dark, cool room. It's not sexy, but if you want to build muscle faster, sleep is non-negotiable. All the training in the world means nothing if your body doesn't have time to rebuild. Mind-muscle connection, not just for bodybuilders. You've probably heard bodybuilders talk about the mind-muscle connection, but now science is backing it up. A 2022 study published in the European Journal of Sports Science found that focusing on the target muscle during an exercise can significantly enhance activation, especially for isolation movements like curls, lateral raises, and leg extensions. This can lead to greater hypertrophy over time, even without changing the load. Instead of just moving the weight, contract the muscle intentionally. Visualize it working. It might feel weird at first, but the enhanced activation leads to better results, especially if you're already lifting with good form. Periodization, the forgotten principle. Last but not least, don't ignore the importance of planned progression. One reason people stop gaining weight is that they don't vary their training over time. Periodization, systematically altering volume, intensity, and frequency, has been proven in countless studies to result in superior muscle growth compared to doing the same workout week after week. You don't need to overcomplicate this. Try 4-week cycles where you gradually increase volume or load, followed by a deload or intensity shift. Rotate exercises every 6 to 8 weeks to prevent adaptation. Keep the core lifts, but challenge your body with fresh stimuli. So let's bring it all together. If you want to build muscle almost twice as fast, the smartest way isn't doing more, it's doing it better. Prioritize eccentric training. Train hard, but not always to failure. Split your volume across the week. Use explosive intent. Include lengthened movements. Time your nutrients. Take proven supplements. Sleep like it's your job. Lock in the mind-muscle connection and structure your plan. This isn't just about theory. These are real research-backed methods being used by elite athletes and bodybuilders to shatter plateaus. And now they're in your hands. Let me ask you, are you going to lift the same way you always have, or will you apply the science and evolve? If you want a downloadable version of a science-based 4-week training program using these principles, drop a comment and say I'm in, and make sure to hit that subscribe button because we're breaking myths and building muscle, one smart rep at a time.